one regularization, we constrain the weights to lie within a diamond-shaped region in the weight space. The loss function, on the other hand, is represented by a series of concentric circles or ellipses, each corresponding to a specific value of the loss. As we minimize the loss, the contour circle shrinks until it touches the boundary of the diamond. The point where the circle touches the diamond determines the optimal solution. And what makes the diamond-shaped constraint unique is its sharp corners. These corners are special because they correspond to points where one or more weights are exactly zero. Whether the contour circle touches a corner or another point along the edges depends on two factors: the size of the diamond constraint, defined by T, and the size of the contour ellipse, which we will be simplifying to a circle with a radius equal to r in this case. The likelihood of touching a corner versus the edges can be analyzed by observing the trajectory of the tangent circle. In this illustration, we depict the trajectory in green when the circle touches a corner, and in yellow when the circle touches the edges of the diamond constraint. To measure the probability of obtaining sparse weights, we simply compare the lengths of the green and the yellow lines. As demonstrated, increasing the radius of the circle, which is equivalent to decreasing the size of the diamond or increasing the lambda coefficient in the regularization parameter, results in a higher likelihood of the circle touching the corners, which gives us weights that are sparse. This behavior is fundamentally different from what happens with L2 regularization, where the constraint region is a circle. Unlike the diamond, a circular constraint does not have sharp corners, and all points along the boundary of the circle are equally likely to be touched by the contour circle, which is why L2 shrinks weights towards zero, but does not set them exactly to zero.